So today's video is going to make me sound probably pretty uncool and like an old man, but it's come to my attention recently that I am an old man. And with age comes a little bit of wisdom. I grew up in a very different time than you guys did, a lot of you guys. Things were different, things were simpler. We didn't have the internet when I was growing up. When I started to have, sex, it was a different time. And that's really what I want to talk about today, because the direction of this channel moving forward really is, it's all about helping you. And if there's something that I feel I just want to get off my chest or I want to talk about because I feel it's important and it could potentially change at least one person's life, I feel like it's important for me to talk about it. And so today I want to talk about sex, because it's one of those things that when I look around and I see how casual and nonchalant it's become, it scares the shit out of me for you. The goal with this video is pretty simple: to help open your eyes and also help you stop doing some of the potentially devastating and self-destructive things that you've been doing. So the first thing I would just like to mention is, it is a big deal to have it. It's not just no big deal, even though it's been basically sensationalized and it's been made to be like no big thing to go and sleep with a bunch of people. It is a big deal. Number one, I just want to say, if you are going to be having it, you need to make sure you're protected. All right, and the reason is pretty simple. You don't want to have a kid if you don't want to have a kid. All right, now, we're going to talk about STDs in a second, but the whole thing about you having it with somebody, even if they're like, hey, I'm on the pill, don't believe the hype. You are responsible for protecting yourself. Protection also is what you need to do in order to reduce the risk. You can't eliminate it other than abstinence. That's the only way you're going to eliminate the risk of contracting something. But if you want to not get an STD, you got to protect yourself. Wear a condom. That is what protecting yourself actually means. Even though a lot of dudes are like, yo, but it doesn't feel as good. Whatever. It feels good enough. What doesn't feel good is when you go to take a pee and it burns like razor blades coming out of your pee hole. What doesn't feel good is chlamydia or gonorrhea. What doesn't feel good is itching because you got crabs. What doesn't feel good is getting a diagnosis of something like syphilis or some other disease like herpes that basically you've got for the rest of your life. Guys, the reality is this: STDs are on the rise. And the reason is because everybody is a slut these days, which brings me to the next thing I just want you to know. Don't be a slut and don't date a slut. Period. And I'm not even giving like the double standard and no. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about her. Why would you want to be with somebody that's been with 50, 60, 100 people? Why? Why? Because that's not going to be an issue for you later in the future when you're like, how many people have you been with? She's like, 100, right? Or she says to you, how many people have you been with? And you're like, 100. You think that makes somebody feel good? You think that makes somebody feel like, oh, they're super desirable, or they were able to get this much, and so they must be a good catch? No, it makes you a horrible catch, in my opinion. It makes you void of a moral compass. And I'm not saying that sleeping with a bunch of people makes you a bad person. I'm just saying it makes you a slut. Now, some of you are like, yo, good news. I just watched porn. Buckle up, because we're going to talk about that next. The first thing I just need you to know is that it's not reality. What you see on the movies, what you see on the different sites, not reality. It's not the way that you should act towards somebody. It's not the way that somebody's going to respond to you. It's not the way that you are probably built. And what I mean by that is like you're Big Al, right? And I know because when I was like 12 years old, I snooped through my stepdad's drawer. I found a tape. 12-year-old me go snooping. I'm like, whoa, a tape. What's this? I knew what it was. I put it in, and sure enough, that one action of me snooping and finding and watching at 12 years old totally effed up my brain and my perception of myself in terms of my body image for the rest of my life. Because I saw what was on that movie, and I saw this dude, and I was like, yo, I'm not built like that. I felt like I was deformed because I wasn't that dude. And that started my lifetime of insecurity about my body, which is another downside to watching the movies. All men were not created equal when it comes to the size of Big Al. This is something that you're probably ultra aware of. Now, the one thing I can tell you, if you are somebody that is struggling or you want your Big Al to be bigger, I just want to real quick mention something that I've talked about a bunch of times that has been a game changer for me, and that is the Bathmate. All right, the Bathmate, this pump, This is the Bathmate Hydro Extreme. It's got this little pump. This is the top of the line model. I'm going to have a special link down below. That link is going to take you to my landing page. They are today's video sponsor. They're also something that has changed my life and the way that I view myself. Not to mention, I last longer and I'm much bigger and thicker as a result of using this for over a year. Like I said, have always been insecure about my size. And so I've done a bunch of videos talking about natural ways to enhance your X, Y, and Z. You know, take L-arginine, which works to make it harder and thicker and all that good stuff. But I started to really go down the rabbit hole of what are the real options to actually make you physically like larger, not just like harder. So I did a bunch of research, and you know, there are a lot of different surgical options that I was definitely not interested in, like the sleeve, the pneuma, you know, extenders. Like, there are a lot of dangerous methods out there that a lot of people weren't happy with. The thing that I kept coming back with, or two, were these pumps. I saw a video by Derek from More Plates, More Dates talking about this pump specifically, and I decided to reach out and give it a try. So long story short, I place my order. I get 3 different models. I get all 3, right? I get the Hydro, the Hydro Max, and the Hydro Extreme. I tested all 3, and this is the one you want, all right? The amount of suction and pressure you get when you actually use this little ball as opposed to just like pumping it against your body is next level. All right, this is the one you want if you're serious about making a change. Now, I'm not saying you need it, but if you do or you want it, I've got that link down below. It's going to give you right now an insane deal, all right? These things are not a toy. They're also not like super cheap. They are a device that will literally help you be bigger. And the way that they work, real quick, little lesson, is what happens is when you get like him hard, right, you've got these 2 like spongy, like cavernous chambers inside. They fill with blood, all right? The more blood that comes in these chambers, the bigger you're going to get. Well, the whole idea and premise is that this is kind of like working out like in the gym, right? The more you do bicep curls, the more you force blood into the muscle, the bigger it gets. It micro tears the little fibers in your muscles, and then it rebuilds bigger, stronger, and sexier, right? Same sort of principle with this. You fill it up with water in the shower, you put it on your body, and you pump it, right? You fill it up, and what's happening is it is drawing extra, or I should say more, blood into those 2 spongy chambers. Pulls more blood into those chambers, stretching them out, all right? And over time of using this, it literally like permanently makes things bigger. The more blood that's able to flow into your Big Al, the bigger he's gonna be. Now for me, I gained a bit of length, but the biggest difference was thickness, circumference. I got a lot thicker by using this. I've used it now for over a year. Now I use it basically twice a week. It's more of like a maintenance dose or a maintenance workout. Think of it just like working out in the gym. You do sets, you do reps. I've done a bunch of videos talking about it. I'm going to link to my 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day videos down below if you guys are interested in going to find out more about this or having a more sort of detailed deep dive into the whole penis pump realm. Guys, this bad boy, it works 100%, and it's not just my opinion. If you are somebody that wants a bigger wiener, it will do it, but it takes time. It's also not a quick fix. And you also need to understand that this is not a toy, all right? You can hurt yourself by using this improperly. You can also hurt yourself by overdoing it, which is something I did the first time I used it. I'm like, let me just see if I can get like a little bigger, and I ended up getting some swelling and a little bit of bruising. It went away, of course, but you gotta be careful. Start slow, gradually you build up. And I'm telling you, this thing has changed. I feel like this thing has changed my life. I feel more confident about myself. My sex life has gotten better with my wife. She enjoys the bigger me a lot more. And even though before she was like, oh no, you're good, you're fine, you're totally amazing, and totally, yeah, right. She's probably not gonna tell you like, oh, I wish it was bigger, I wish it was thicker, or you're not as big as my ex-boyfriend. She's not gonna tell you that because she knows that as men, our egos are pretty fragile, especially when it comes to our wieners. And so, guys, if you're interested, I've got that special link right now. Like I said, huge deal, huge savings. If you're interested in grabbing it, do not wait, but don't mess around with those other 2 models. Get this one. This is the top of the line, but with that discount, it's super affordable and it works. A few other reasons why watching the movies is bad for your confidence is it lowers your self-esteem. And the reason is because you know it's not good for you. You know you shouldn't be doing it. You know that there are better uses of your time, but you go back and you do it. And afterwards, you feel guilty about doing it until the next time. The other problem is the dopamine. You know, we talk a lot about dopamine and the fact that we are getting so much of it now more than ever. It affects every aspect of your life, whether or not you realize it or not. When you don't have the proper dopamine response to the proper things, it F's you up. When I quit, a lot of things kind of fell into place for me. I was more attentive and had a better relationship with my wife because we were more engaged, because I wasn't basically taking care of myself, watching, right? It made me be a better husband, a better partner. I also found more things beautiful. And what I mean by that is when you're watching all the time, it kind of desensitizes you to pretty things and attractive people, right? It is amazing though, when you take that away, you look at things differently and you find more things beautiful. It's pretty amazing. It's good. But anyway, I just want to recommend, if you are somebody that is struggling with your addiction, or if you're watching it all the time, stop. Figure out a way, do what you need to do, get it under control, join a support group, get an app that blocks it, like whatever you need to do. But getting it under control and limiting your exposure is going to help you in a lot of different areas of your life. But one of the main ones is your confidence and self-esteem. Don't ever cheat, ever. It's unacceptable. The grass is not greener on the other side of the spicy fence. But when you cheat, when you knowingly have somebody that thinks you're being faithful or honest with them, and then you go and do something like that, the chance of her or he ever trusting you again is zero. And when trust is broken, literally the relationship is over. Even if they say, oh, I forgive you, they don't forget. And it's going to basically interfere with other aspects of your relationship. And sometimes, you know, it might not even rear its head until years later. But once you cheat, it should be over, in my opinion. And if she cheats on you, end it, because you'll never, ever trust her again. Never allow somebody to use it, as in like it as a weapon or as a reward. All right, that is not a healthy relationship. You've got to understand that if you are with somebody and they don't want it as much as you, or it's just not like the same, like in terms of your freak is different than their freak, it's probably not going to work. You need to be on the same page with somebody that is going to be your partner long term. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to slow down, because newsflash, as you're with somebody, or I should say the longer you're with somebody, the frequency will slow down. You also are going to lose that initial like butterflies and oh my God, it's so exciting. Like that intensity, it goes away or it greatly reduces. Do not think that there's anything wrong with you or there's anything wrong with them. It's just the natural evolution of relations. All right. What you thought when you were younger was like the most important thing in terms of, you know, getting this and doing that. A lot of times your perception and your needs will change as you get older. It's not saying that you don't want to have it when you're older, but you value other things. The next thing I just want to mention is don't be fooled by beauty. All right, beauty is one of those things that is an appreciating asset. She is and he is and you are going to get less attractive typically as you age. All right, and if you are just focused on somebody because they're beautiful or they're attractive physically, you're going to be sorely disappointed and be searching for something in the future. You've got to find somebody that you think and find beautiful on the outside and inside. And when you connect with somebody and have a relation and have intimacy with somebody that you're truly connected to, I can tell you from experience, it gets so much better. It also gets a lot easier. In terms of you don't need to feel like you've got to put on an act or a show, or you don't need to live up to some arbitrary set of standards. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to get lazy, which is the next thing we got to talk about. One of the big complaints and reasons why relationships end that are typically like pretty good is that one or two or both people get lazy in the relationship. In the early days, you're telling her she's beautiful. In the early days, you're doing all the things that you need to do in order to basically make her feel beautiful about herself and make her want to be intimate with you. But if you stop, if you just basically stop engaging, if you stop making her feel special or beautiful or doing the little things, your relationship will fail. If you stop doing the little things you need to do in order to basically facilitate the action, make her feel beautiful, doing the things, the foreplay, the dirty talk, all the little nasty, naughty things you did when you were first dating, you got to keep doing it. Yes, the frequency will slow down. This is normal. Don't think that there's something wrong with her or you, but communication is a beautiful thing. And the last thing I'd just like to mention, when it comes to the act of physical intimacy, it's nobody's fucking business who you choose to love or where you choose to stick your wiener, as long as it's legal. like seriously, it's nobody's business. There's nothing wrong with you for being a little freaky. There's nothing wrong with you for being a little bit weird. There's nothing wrong with you for being gay, for being straight, for loving who you love. And if you are somebody that gets off on having multiple people in a relationship, like, that's your business. Do not let anybody tell you differently or that it's not okay. It doesn't matter. It's not up to them. It's up to you. And I want you to have a happy, healthy action life, but it starts with you not taking it for granted and acting like it's no big deal, because I can tell you it is a very big deal. I know I sound like the fun police. I know I sound like probably your parents. Actually, I hope you're lucky enough to have a parent that would tell you things like this and have an open, honest conversation about something so incredibly deadly important as this. But the fact is, you need to hear it. You also need to change your perception. Just because you see that other people are doing something or you see that it's normal, it doesn't mean it's okay. Protect yourself. Do better, gentlemen. Do better.